Over the past 150 years, the world has experienced rapid industrialization. Given its scale, several significant accidents have also occurred, claiming the lives of thousands of people. Today, we will look back at 5 human-made disasters that have occurred over the past century. On December 3, 1984, in Bhopal, an industrial city in India, one of the worst chemical disasters in history occurred. At the Union Carbide India Limited (UCIL) pesticide plant, an accident led to the release of approximately 40 tons of methyl isocyanate, MIC, an extremely toxic substance. MIC is a colorless liquid used in pesticide production, but it becomes highly dangerous when it comes into contact with water, heat, or certain impurities. When the gas leaked, it quickly spread to nearby residential areas. Residents woke up feeling ill, with the gas causing breathing difficulties and irritating their eyes and throats. Many lost consciousness before they could escape. Official reports state that over 3,700 people died immediately, but independent studies suggest the death toll could exceed 15,000, including those who died months or years later. Hundreds of thousands of people still suffer from health problems, including chronic respiratory diseases and cancer. Investigations revealed that this tragedy could have been prevented. Safety systems at the plant were in poor condition to cut costs, and workers lacked proper training. Additionally, the company had not informed local authorities about the risks associated with MIC storage. Legal proceedings against Union Carbide, later acquired by Dow Chemical Company, dragged on for decades, and many victims received only minimal compensation or none at all. The Bhopal disaster prompted changes in Indian legislation, introducing stricter regulations for hazardous industries. The Chernobyl disaster, which occurred on April 26, 1986, in the Ukrainian SSR, now Ukraine, is one of the most devastating disasters related to nuclear energy. The event began during a planned systems test at Reactor 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. A sudden power surge in the reactor caused an explosion and fire, releasing a massive amount of radioactive material into the atmosphere. The explosion released approximately 400 times more radioactive material than the Hiroshima atomic bomb. The immediate consequences were tragic. 2 workers died instantly, and 28 more people died in the following weeks from acute radiation sickness. Thousands of people were evacuated from the nearby city of Pripyat and surrounding areas, creating the so-called exclusion zone, where people are still prohibited from living due to high radiation levels. It is estimated that tens of thousands of people died prematurely due to radiation-related cancers and other health issues that emerged later. The environmental impact has been equally severe. Radioactive contamination has affected wildlife, causing genetic mutations. For decades, animals have lived in the absence of humans, sparking debates about whether the exclusion zone could become a biodiversity oasis. The Chernobyl disaster also changed global attitudes toward nuclear energy. It led to stricter safety standards worldwide and increased public scrutiny of nuclear power plants. On April 20, 2010, an explosion occurred on the Deepwater Horizon drilling platform in the Gulf of Mexico, causing the largest marine oil spill in history. At the Macondo prospect drilling site, operated by BP, the explosion resulted in the release of approximately 4.9 million barrels of oil, which flowed into the ocean for 87 days. 11 platform workers died in the explosion, and many others were injured. The environmental impact was enormous. Oil slicks spread hundreds of kilometers, reaching the coasts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. Wildlife was severely affected, and some species continue to suffer from population declines. Coastal wetlands, which are crucial for flood control and biodiversity, were seriously damaged, leading to erosion and loss of habitats. Cleanup efforts included skimming oil from the ocean surface, using dispersants to break down the oil, and deploying barriers to protect sensitive coastal areas. However, these measures created new problems, as dispersants could harm marine organisms and interfere with the natural breakdown of the oil. The disaster severely impacted the local economy, particularly the fishing and tourism industries. Fishermen faced restrictions due to concerns about oil contamination, while tourists avoided visiting the region. Although BP pledged billions of dollars in compensation and cleanup efforts, many communities still struggle to regain their ecological and financial stability. The Deepwater Horizon spill serves as a reminder of the risks associated with deepwater oil drilling. The Love Canal neighborhood in Niagara Falls, New York, became a symbol of environmental injustice on 1978 after it was discovered to be built atop a toxic chemical waste dump. In the 1940s, Hooker Chemical Company disposed of over 21,000 tons of chemical waste here, including dioxins, PCBs, and other hazardous substances. When the company sold the land to the city in 1953, it warned about the dangerous waste, but proper safety measures were not implemented. Later, schools and homes were built on the site, allowing rainwater to seep in and wash toxic chemicals into the soil and groundwater. Residents began noticing unusual health issues, including high rates of miscarriages, birth defects, and cancer cases. Environmental tests revealed high levels of carcinogens in the air, soil, and water, prompting President Jimmy Carter to declare a federal emergency in 1978. Over 800 families were evacuated, and the U.S. government initiated a massive cleanup effort, which became the foundation for the new Superfund program. The Love Canal crisis exposed systemic issues in waste management and corporate accountability. Although part of the area has been restored, lingering concerns about residual pollution serve as a reminder of the long-term consequences of industrial activities. In December 1952, London experienced a week-long smog event known as the Great Smog. This event was the result of several factors: cold weather, windless conditions, and the widespread use of coal for heating. Smoke from household chimneys mixed with fog, creating a thick, yellowish-brown smog that blanketed the city, reducing visibility to just a few meters. The smog was deadly, particularly for the elderly, children, and those with pre-existing respiratory conditions. Hospitals were overwhelmed with patients suffering from bronchitis, pneumonia, and heart problems. After the smog cleared, it was estimated that approximately 12,000 people had died, and thousands more required medical attention. Autopsies revealed blackened lungs, characteristic of severe pollution exposure. The Great Smog shocked the public and spurred legislative changes. In 1956, Parliament passed the Clean Air Act, which introduced smoke control measures, promoted the use of cleaner fuels, and restricted the use of coal in households. These reforms laid the foundation for modern environmental protection policies. However, air pollution remains a pressing issue worldwide. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel.